Hi again, people. I just wanted to make a video about some things that have been bothering me lately about problems with society. Uh, well, the biggest thing is that most people, they can't think for themselves. I guess that's why, school was, like, public schooling was invented, because remember, there was a lot of history when it wasn't public. It was either you had wealthy parents who paid for your tutors, or maybe you did an apprenticeship, or, yeah, so, yes, most of history, people were uneducated. Well, they're still like, you can go through school, but not really learn anything. You just find ways to maximize your, like, using points or GPA, like points in a game or whatever. So, it's really like no one learns anything anymore. Um, the ability to be able to educate yourself is so valuable in this world. That's how old, like, business tycoons got where they are. Most of them are, billionaires. Or a thing I've heard recently about billionaires is they always wake up at 4 a.m. Exactly at 4 a.m. Which I think it's definitely good to wake up early. I guess go to bed early, because like they go to bed at 8 p.m. Which, like, I don't know if you really like to stay up late. I just think it's bad. Not only bad for your body, but yeah, just bad for, like, sleep isn't as valuable or as restful after 10 p.m. Um, yeah, you should regulate your circadian rhythm with the sun. When the sun goes down, people are supposed to sleep. You should mimic nature, because that's how things turn out the best. Like, that's our principle with growing plants. Like, if we don't mimic nature with, like, farming, it, plants don't grow. Um, yeah, and always think about the past, like, research. What were things like in most of human history before and now? Because, before and now, people didn't drink dairy. That, I think, actually, prior to the Industrial Revolution, no, it's just in the last 1,000 years that people started milking cows for dairy, which, it's really immoral. Like, I think, I judge people by the way they treat their body. So, I mean, depending on what they eat, if it's something that your body wasn't designed to eat, um, not really. You're not on my level. So, I think you're kind of like, there's a mind body connection. Um, so also, like, how much you exercise. Yeah, expanding the brain. Oh, something I experienced last night. I was telling my relatives about, on the one who stands out the most. Of course, I know a lot of stuff, and they're amazed at how my brain works so well. Uh, so here's one trick I'll teach you why I'm so smart. Uh, every morning I just rub my hands together, clap to wake them up, then and just like that, move your hands back and forth while breathing. At the end, or make sure to, like, clear away the energy, or, like, lock it down. Because, if you don't do that at the end, then basically doesn't, what you did doesn't count for anything. I don't think it gets written in your record or consolidate in your brain or whatever. And you can do that as many times as you want. I do 10 times every morning, and usually when I'm right before eating, right before a meal. Except I've done some meditations out like barefoot on the grass where I do that for 200 times, or I don't know, I set a timer and I just do it however long it takes. So yeah, it's just like the allegory of the cave, how if one prisoner is let out of the cave and gets to see reality as it actually is, in fact, they will have to be dragged out. They won't be willing to actually experience reality. It'll be painful, but eventually the person will see things as they actually are and they want to go back to tell the other people, you were just judging reality by shadow, so you don't understand reality. But then the other prisoners who are still in the cave, they want to like kill the other person because they say, oh, you're different, you disagree with us, how dare you be different. Yeah, I can't believe last night, like, I thought, my family was pretty smart, and they are, but, I mean, there's so much now, and because I have a lot of free time, it's, meditation definitely, is the number one thing you have to do to expand your mind, or, I don't know, be able to understand things. Meditation is very useful for overcoming addictions, the Center for Complementary Medicine recommends meditation for things like IBS, ulcerative colitis, depression, anxiety, just anything, being better at your anything, memorizing lines to like plays or she don't do stupid stuff. So it's like when people were reading a play, like they actually read the words in italics in the parentheses of the start of their line. I mean that describes how you say it, not you don't say it that way. You don't say those words in italics. And you obviously don't know anything about plays or and yesterday Thanksgiving I also saw my dad's relative, there was Allison there. She was the only other vegan, which I didn't get a chance to talk to her because most of the people that are at my dad's relative's house is actually, they're just neighbors who aren't related to us at all. So I didn't realize Allison was there till like the end. Let's see, her dad, Kevin, was talking to him, and you could kind of see he's like fat, he's put on weight, or I don't know, it's like humans aren't meant to be obese, so I think there's definitely something wrong with you eating all the time. It's like oral fixation. So I was talking to him and said, I don't know, we got on the topic of veganism, how, like, I'm a vegan and obviously he isn't, and I said, why don't we just not eat the animals to stop global warming? Because, I mean, animal agriculture, like, over 70% of all the plants are grown just for the animals, because this when hundreds of millions of people die from starvation every year. And I mean, it's also, the animals cause at least 51% of greenhouse gases, and I mean, it's just immoral. Like, we don't need it. I think when people during the Ice Age, when they didn't have plants and they needed to kill animals, they didn't really like it. They thought they didn't have agriculture, so they didn't know whether they'd be able to eat again that week. It was the killing animals made the difference between being able to survive the winter or not. But now it's very easy to go through winter as completely vegan. Yeah, animal agriculture is definitely needs to go. Oh, another thing I asked Stacy, she's one of the in my mom's family, if she knows who Terrence McKenna is, and I feel like most people don't know who Terrence McKenna is. One story about him is when he was a kid, whenever he went over to his grandfather's, he'd beg his granddad for the hearing aids, his hearing aids, so he can take out the batteries and smash them with a hammer on the table to get out the mercury and put the mercury into vials. And of course, she said, he probably died early, and like was a psycho not. He did a lot of hallucinogenic drugs, so maybe that's why he died at, I think, 69, which maybe back then wasn't that young or older. So I don't know if you should judge people by just how long they live, because quality over quantity. The years in your life matters, but the life in the life in your years matters, but the years in your life doesn't. So I mean, a lot of people just don't know these remarkable people, which I think's pretty sad. Maybe just do positive affirmations in the morning, like I know how to educate myself. I know how to educate myself. I am a lucid dreamer. I always remember my dreams. I know what to do. I know what I want, and I know how to get it. Because a lot of people don't know the 7 habits of highly effective people are: 1, be proactive, which I think unfortunately a lot of people, they aren't proactive. It's much better to be proactive and not reactive. Like I was talking to this guy yesterday, he was talking about his back injury and like he needs to get a hip replaced, and I said you should do yoga, or like I don't know, when it helped if he did yoga before he had all those health problems. So maybe if you practice the exercises before you get so old and decrepit and or your body's falling apart. Like my dad, he has to do them every morning because his body's falling apart and he's really old. So I figure I'll do them every morning and maybe my body won't fall apart. So yeah, Terrence McKenna is a great person. You should definitely check him out. Mushrooms are gonna save the world. Plants can talk to us. The world's gonna be a fruitopia one day, because I mean, fruit is actually the food that our bodies are designed for. We like fruit's really good for you. Definitely eat more fruit. Fruit is, I think currently Americans eat the least amount of fruit out of all the foods, but that's the exact opposite of what it should be. You should like only eat fruit or mostly fruit. I love pineapple, bananas, kiwis, everything. But make sure your food is like real food, because I mean, in modern times, a lot of the coffee mixes are just fillers. Like the coffee tree has begun to decline in how much it grows. So a lot of companies, they just fill it in with dirt, sawdust, twigs. The honey isn't real honey, but just don't eat coffee. Don't drink coffee. Coffee is bad for you. Yeah, eat real food. No candy. Don't eat any candy or drink coffee or any cookies or, yeah, fruits, vegetables. That's like real food. What else? Oh yeah, if you want to educate yourself, maybe you should just read or, I don't know, go out to like new events, do something different every day, or maybe just every month. Like go to a powwow to experience Native American culture if you've never been, or I don't know, try a new restaurant, like some different ethnic, or try yoga if you've never done yoga. Try Tai Chi if you. I mean, I'm so glad that first day and when I saw that the Y they offered Tai Chi, and my whole life I didn't know, and I've been a member of the Y my whole life, but so I showed up Tai Chi because it's just something new and I want to experience it, and I am so glad I did it. It's not just for old people. Most people just don't know it's better to be proactive than reactive. Or like, I know, there's westernized yoga, westernized Tai Chi. It's like, you know, the Tai Chi they teach to old people in the West to just, for them to just stay alive. That isn't a real Tai Chi. Tai Chi is like so much more than just what they teach at the Y. Uh, yeah, I love all martial arts. It's definitely the best thing. I can't wait for the time when martial arts are going to be required in schools. Mind body connection. It's a great way to, yeah. And I want to say, unfortunately for Thanksgiving, a lot of people, they don't seem very thankful. Or we don't talk about it. Like, I asked my, uh, aunt, what are you most thankful for? And everyone just says, family. And, I mean, well, they don't go into detail after that. Like, what's so good about your family? Like, I'm kind of not thankful for my family because they're not very smart, or they are, but they they raised me on a lot of meat. Like my mom, they're still meat eaters, and you should definitely not give kids the dairy milk, which is full of blood and pus, and the meat, which has a lot of cholesterol, and eggs, and she would make pancakes, obviously not vegan, every Sunday, and bacon, and surprised we got to adulthood. Yeah, I really wish I didn't grow up on that stuff. My one wish would be to be raised vegan. Um, if I want to change one thing about the way I was raised, be raised vegan. So what I'm thankful for most is the public library. Most thankful for the public library because that's how you educate yourself. The public library, just read. I was really glad they had books on the Atlantis Blueprint. Was a book about the study of Atlantis, all the work that people have done about Atlantis, and looking at history, how the poles were different, or I don't know. There was obviously a lot of crust movement. The continents were at different locations, and they found all these sacred sites like matched up with certain latitudes, and how they found tobacco and cocaine both American plants native to America, in the mummies in Egypt. So obviously there was maybe some, like, Egypt and the Americas had some contact somehow in the past. Um, they've also found that a lot of the pottery, like Chinese artifacts, art, is pretty much identical to a lot of the art in, like, Mesoamerica, the Aztecs. So, yeah, a lot of our past, I guess most people don't know about it. As I is, there was also this book, Amazing Human Journey, about hypnosis, um, and how these people had memories of Atlantis from hypnosis. Hypnosis is definitely an interesting thing. Wish I knew more about it. Uh, there's also the book, Idiot's Complete Guide to Alchemy. I was surprised they had one about alchemy, but no, if you want to learn about what alchemy actually is, just visit your local library. It's not that hard. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize it's not really changing lead into gold. Like, why do we say, get the lead out, get the lead out, come on? Isn't that like, hurry up, or just release whatever is keeping you from, I don't know, evolving? So, obviously, alchemy is about evolving things. Whether that is, like, art, taking things from a base state, like, I don't know, origami, a piece of paper that isn't very interesting, and you're just changing its shape, and you turn it into something that's very interesting. So, origami is alchemy, or just any art, like taking, I don't know, blank canvas, or just all these raw materials like paints that, apart from each other, they mean nothing, but if you put them together in a certain formation, they make great art, beautiful art. Like, I saw stick work in Salem, Massachusetts. This one woman, she took a bunch of sticks that, apart from each other, they mean nothing, but she wove them together into the shape of, like, these huts that they kind of look like what Ewoks live in from Star Wars. No, not Ewoks, Jawas. Which was really cool. That's alchemy. So we're really taking things from like a white belt into a black belt. Like, white belt, they're slow, clumsy, they don't really know what to do with their body. So they resonate with lead, the least evolved metal. And then black belts are like gold because they are the most refined, the most evolved. What else? Last night, yeah, apparently, and other news, my sister has recently said she's vegan. She's gone vegan. She's bought a bunch of, processed food like poke burgers. She's junk food vegan. Which, I mean, one step at a time. I guess most people aren't ready for it. But no, when we go out, like, she ordered shrimp last time we went out. Just ordered salad, peppers. Yeah. I probably should have. I don't like going out to restaurants. Don't like supporting the, capitalist system. Another thing I want to talk about. There was this documentary called Blue River, where there are a lot of rivers in Southeast Asia where you can predict the color of the fashion season, the in color by the changing color of the river. The river changes color depending on the fashion season because the companies that manufacture so much of the clothes there, the clothes that we buy from the stores, like, I don't know, Old Navy or wherever, JCPenney's clothes, clothes that we buy. That's because those companies, they dump a bunch of the dyes they use in the river. They have nowhere else to put it. And also you see in those factories, there are very few people who were, I don't think there were any people who were in older than their 20s. So obviously being exposed to all that stuff all day is pretty bad. They say the kids, when they pass those factories on their way to school, they lose their sense of smell. So obviously the fashion industry is just as bad, if not worse, than animal agriculture. I mean, it talks about how all the resources that go into manufacturing pair of jeans, it's like, I think it's the equivalent of driving, I don't know, like thousands of miles, and there's like tons and tons of water. It's like, and I mean, the human rights violations, it's like horrible the way these people are treated in the sweatshops where they have to make the clothes. So make sure to leave comments on what you think about Atlantis, or I don't know, have you seen any good documentaries, or I don't know, just what you think about our past, because I think if you don't know where you've been, you don't know where you are, and you don't know where you're going. So study history. That's definitely important. That's why it's part of school. This video is already long enough. I guess that's all I want to talk about. I'm definitely thankful for other stuff like the internet, TED Talks, mushrooms, Terrence McKenna, how there's more awareness about this stuff. Oh, and awareness, again, is a very important thing. You just have to be aware of all the things going on in the world around you, because, I mean, we're citizens of the earth now, or you should be, because, I mean, there's so much cultural diffusion. Like 100 years ago, a person living in America would never be eating Chinese or Japanese food or Indian food, practicing yoga. And it's really, really easy with the internet to just look up about other countries, things all the way across the globe. You're a citizen of the earth, not just one country or one state. Love you, YouTube. Bye.